YouTube, welcome back to my channel. It's your girl Selena here. So before I even get started with this video, because there's a lot to talk about with this 90-day fiance, Ariela and Biniyam, I just wanted to give a quick shout out to Kitoko, which sent me this wonderful beautiful sweater that says Asmara Etra on it. I have one also in blue, so if you want to check it out, get your own little sweater. I know they have different kinds of sweaters from different countries as well. They have the necklace that I'm going to be featuring later on this channel. If you love it, click down below and leave their link so you guys can purchase your own. Let's get straight to this Ariela and Biniyam situation. I have a whole lot to talk about. Let's get it started, shall we? So, coming back to 90-day fiance, Ariela and Biniyam. I know they have, the other way has taken a break. They're going to be coming back in October, so I'm like, let me try and get everything that I left off with in this video today, so then have a fresh start, new start in October. So we left off in my last video about Ariela and Biniyam and the mother. They are having a sit-down conversation over coffee about Biniyam's past relationship. So now in this scene, they have now all gone to go meet Biniyam's family for the very first time. So he's taking them into a restaurant where they all say hello, they do their greetings, they sit down, they're like, oh, we heard the sisters, because he has two sisters and a brother, they're like, oh, we heard so much about you. The mother's like, oh, hopefully all good things. The mother was saying her concerns, that she's like, I'm leaving my baby in your care, and they're like, no, we got her, don't worry about that. So but already I like the vibe. I like how they are very open to one another. I love that about this whole situation. So then the food comes in. They get the plate of food, and Biniyam is explaining to the mom that this is tradition, this is raw meat, this is how it's like, this is what we eat or whatever. And the mother's like, so how's it prepared? And he's like, just prepare with butter. And she's like, oh, so that doesn't upset your stomach? And the one sister goes, sometimes, but we take medicine. I'm like, ooh, have you guys ever had raw meat before? I've never had it before. I don't know how you could eat it. You could just, to me, it just seems like you'd be sitting there chewing for so long, you know, because it's raw meat. But I don't know, I've never had it before. The mother's like, okay. So one of the sisters goes, we have a tradition here where we feed you. But she didn't say feed you, she said gursha. And the mother obviously probably doesn't know what the heck that means, so she says, we have a tradition here where we say gursha. And so she stands up, and the mother's like just looking at her, and she's about to feed her. She's like, oh, you're about to feed me, oh, okay. So she took it like a champ. I love this mother. She's so down to earth. So she took the gursha, and then the daughter's like, Ariela is like, you're the only person that's able to do that without getting in trouble with my mom. And so they start to feed each other or whatever, having a conversation, which was kind of nice. So then they get down to where they talk about how the relationship is going to work, basically. Ariela's mother has asked the girls, what is the role in the man in Ethiopia? What is the female role? What do they do when it comes to raising a family? What is the lifestyle? So the girls kind of tell, like, they got a little giggle because they're like, okay, this is awkward. So they explain that the man goes out, earns the money, the female stays home, basically. So the mother's like, oh, okay. They now go into asking about the past relationship. And the sisters are like, yeah, we also had fears about this relationship. If things don't work out, is she going to go leave and take the baby with her? So then they all look at her, and they're like, and then Ariela's like, no, that's not what I wanted to do. Like, I don't want to do that. And then they get into about how they feel like if she wants to go visit the family in America, would Biniyam let her? And Biniyam's like, of course, like if she wants to go visit her family, she can. But you know, if he wants to come, the visa takes a long time. The process is a long time. So with that being said, would that be a conflict of interest? So I feel like both parties are really uncomfortable with this whole situation, and they're in fear. Ariela's mother, obviously for many reasons, as we covered before in other videos. But now Biniyam's sisters and the brother are worried about, is she going to take this baby again? Is this relationship even going to work out? So who knows? Let's find out. So now we get into the club scene. After they meet the family, they go in to see what Biniyam's whole talent is. So they go in, they see, you know, Biniyam has his dance partner with him. But before I even get to that, I missed the part where the mother's asking her certain questions, like how much can he even make doing something like this every night? Does he have other options? Like, she's asking her all these reasonable questions that Ariela should really be thinking about. And Ariela's like, I don't know, Mom. I don't know, Mom. You'd have to ask him, Mom. I don't know, Mom. I'm like, what does this woman really know, though? Like, what do you know? Like, if this woman does not realize you are literally moving. You're taking your whole life from what you know, from what you have from America to Ethiopia, to start fresh. You need to have some sort of plan. And from this, it looks like she has no plan whatsoever. She has absolutely no idea what is going on. She is so lucky her mother is there right now, because when she leaves, that's it. Like, she's on her own. Like, she's on her own. And when her mother asking her these questions, Ariela needs to take into account that, okay, these questions maybe I should be asking. Maybe these things I need to really be considering and thinking about. But the I don't know, that's beyond me, honey. I don't know. So we get into now him and his dance partner come onto the stage. Ariela tells her mom, like, this is his ex-girlfriend. She goes, how long were they together? And Ariela's answer was, you guessed it, I don't know, Mom. They get into the whole dance routine. They're watching the show or whatever, and the mother's telling all this, like, she has no filter, and I love her mom for this. She's like, oh wow, she's really cute. Oh wow, they got good chemistry. It's a good match. And I was like, Mom, like, just stop. I'm like, I love it. But she's saying this so she could realize that there's something you need to really think about. This is something you really need to think about. She's like, while he's dancing late hours of the night, you're home alone, he's dancing with his ex-girlfriend. Just saying. Now they're watching him dance, doing whatever, and one part I found which was really, like, I don't know, the whole dance was nice or whatever, but when it came to the end, she was like literally like, her booty was on his face, and like he was like pretending like she was an instrument in a sense. And like that whole, I don't know, that to me, like, this is your ex-girlfriend and you're dancing with her like that. Like, I don't know, that's just, it's a little much, a little too much. But I don't know, like, they watched it, they enjoyed it, whatever. If they had no hard feelings against it, that's fine. But I don't know, the mother, I could tell, was like, this is kind of much. Ariela, you need to really think about this. So he finished the dances, he comes to them, he greets them, he says, hi, Mom, whatever. And they're like, wow, like, it was really good, she's beautiful, yada yada. He gets to a story about his ex-wife. Yes, I think it's his ex-wife and him, an incident that they had. He was working late at night one day, and he was an MC, and he was wearing a white tee, all white tee. And I guess one of the girls came up to him to request a song or something to his ear, but then got lipstick stained on his shoulder. This is a white tee. He tried for 3 hours, he said, to take the stain out. It wouldn't come out, so he tried to hide it, basically. So the mother asks, so if you get lipstick again on your shoulder, what are you going to do? And he's like, well, if you trust me, I'm going to tell you. If you don't, I'm going to basically hide it. And they're like, oh, no, you're not going to hide it. You're not going to hide it. And apparently he's been having these white lies before, Ariela is saying, to maintain his relationships. I'm like, why are you trusting that then? Why, like, if you have to lie, there's no point then. Like, there's no trust, there's no good communication. There's no point of even maintaining that relationship, in my opinion. So she knows, Ariela knows, apparently he's done this multiple times. He's told her that. So he's being open and honest about it. It's up to her to make that decision for herself if she's willing to stay and continue to listen to these white lies or to move on. Up to her. So we go on to the next scene. I think I may be jumping a couple scenes here and there, but from what I remember, what I've got saved on my computer is when Ariela has to say goodbye to her mother. She gets to the airport, they say their goodbyes. It was really an emotional scene. Any goodbye or see you later or whatever is really emotional. I know the feeling. So they're in the car and she's like, stay positive, stay positive. And then the mother goes, what am I? She goes, positive gangster. I'm like, oh, that's cute. They have little sayings for each other. It was really sweet. Basically saying to Biniyam, you gotta take care of her too. She's gonna cry a lot today. And you know, her emotions are through the roof. She's also pregnant, so the hormones are like through the roof. So the whole scene was very wholesome in a sense. It was really nice to see that. Now we get to the part where they're sitting in the park. So basically, long story short, in the scene, they're in the park and they're talking about their feelings for each other and how Ariela feels like she's alone. Their communication is not the best thing in the world, obviously, because there's a language barrier. But there is a lot going on in this relationship that they need to clear up. And this whole scene, I think, is just stupid because this should have been talked about before she got pregnant, before they did anything with each other. This now is just, I feel like it's just for the camera. Like, why are we talking about this now? Like, it was just like a waste of a scene to me because it made no sense. Like, yeah, we know y'all don't have any good communication. Yeah, we all know that you guys, there's no chemistry. I don't see much chemistry. And I see Biniyam really trying. Like, he's a genuine dude. I can tell he's a very genuine dude. Ariela, I understand where she's coming from. She didn't want to have the baby in the States because she wants Biniyam, the father of the baby, to see his child. So I understand both situations, but these are very two confused people. They need to figure themselves out because it's a whole mess. A whole mess. They should have thought about this way before they even had a baby coming. Moving along, the next scene is where Biniyam takes Ariela to the church to figure out, because he wants the baby to be Christian Orthodox. Ariela does not. Obviously, she's Jew, so they're trying to figure out a way of how the baby could be baptized in a sense. And so they go into the church just to get more information about what could be done. So basically, he wants the baby to be baptized and to become Christian Orthodox. And he asks, the priest says, so what brings you in here today? He's like, so she's pregnant. It's something that just happened, and we just want to know what we can do about that. And he asked, can the baby be baptized? He's like, the priest says no. Before the baby can even be baptized, the mother of where the milk is coming from, the breast is coming from, that person needs to be Christian Orthodox before the baby can be baptized Christian Orthodox. I'm like, I've never heard that before. So I don't know if this is just like something that just happens in Ethiopia. I have no idea. Like, that's something very new to me. Never heard of that before. If you guys have, comment down below if it's normal, if it's something if it's like one of those older Orthodox Christian rituals that they do, because there's some things that are really old, like that a lot of people still do follow, some do not, you know what I mean? It's like I personally never heard of that before. So when I heard that, I'm like, that's new. What? I've never heard of that before. So comment down below if you had. They figure out they can't, so they got to figure out that whole religion situation there. That's another thing on their plate that they should have figured out from the start, but they didn't. Good luck to y'all. So then next is, after the mother has been gone for a little bit, we see the scene where Biniyam is washing the clothes. It looks like he's washing clothes in the little hotel area that the mother left them in for a couple days until they figure out where they're going to be living. So now they have this conversation that she feels like she's not getting enough from Biniyam in terms of basically what she's been saying before. Like, she's not comfortable living there. She's very dependent on him. She absolutely has no job, no friends, no nothing. Like, he's the only thing that she knows in that country, which is understandable. So she was saying, what would happen if I leave? Like, she's kind of like pushing it to him, like you need to step your game up a little bit in a sense. And he didn't like that. He didn't like the thought of her even saying the word leave, because he instantly thought about his ex-wife, where, you know, he basically said, like, he's like, I'm very thankful that you actually came here and, you know, try to stay with me or whatever. He's like, but he said straight up, I'm afraid of losing my family again. So that, to me, like, that's really devastating. Like, first he doesn't have any parents. His parents passed away when he was a young kid, and now on top of that, his ex-wife left him with their child. That's another family that's gone, you know what I mean? So I understand where he's coming from. He's coming from a very broken past that he really wants that fulfillment in his life again. It's really getting on to him, because you know, he has multiple jobs, and he said in one video that all those jobs in total probably pays me $500 a month. And you know, it's not, he's like, it's not a lot of money, but he's doing what he can to provide and to help support the family with what money that he has. So you know, Ariela needs to kind of realize that he is kind of trying. But for her, like, I understand that she was saying, and the next clip I'm going to be talking about is when they go house hunting. Let me just go straight into it. Let's just talk about the house hunting. They go visit these houses. There's one house that was really nice. It was beautiful. Has hot water. Hallelujah. So they find out that it costs a month, converting it to dollars, $1,400. I hope I said that. I think it's $1,400 a month. So that's a lot of money. So he only gets paid $500 a month. Like, that's over his budget. That's over how much he even makes. So, you know, she was like, but it's good. Like, it has everything we need. He's like, but like, I don't have no money. For her, it was kind of like, I already told you this before when we were talking when I was in the States, that you need to get yourself ready. I come here and nothing is ready. Like, I understand her frustration, and I can only imagine when you're pregnant, your hormones are through the roof. So she is like on 100, like, you need to be ready. I understand completely where she is coming from, because it could be very stressful. You're telling one person one thing, they're not listening. Things need to be in order, you know, but they're not listening. Now they're in the cab, or it looked like an Uber or something. Let me just tell you guys, I'm going to insert a clip of this of this Uber driver's face the whole time they're having an argument. I can't. It is so funny. He's like, they're having a full blowout about basically the apartment situation. Basically what it is. She's saying, you should have had this done before I got here. He's saying, just give me 1 week. Just give me 1 week. I don't know what 1 week is going to do. I have no idea. But he's saying, just give me 1 week. Are you patient for 1 week? She's like, no, I've given you like this whole time before I could come here, and nothing is done. And he's like, well, I've been busy practicing. She's like, well, you could have taken a week off and you could have done this in 1 week. Then you could have continued your practicing. But instead, no, you didn't want to. And basically, like, going back and forth, bickering, da-da-da, da-da-da, da-da-da. I'm like, oh my goodness gracious. Seriously? Apparently, she offered to send money and he refused. I don't know. I'm not sure exactly what's, you know, I don't know how true that is. She offered to give him money. He said no, he refused. So she's like, well, we could have had this done. We could have things figured out. You should have had things figured out before I got here. But instead, we're still looking. And he's like, I'm stressed. She's like, you're stressed. I'm stressed. I have nobody here. I have a baby coming on the way. I'm pregnant. My mother's not here. I'm stressed. And the whole time, the Uber driver is sitting there like, oh my God. The guy kills me. His facial expression made the whole clip, to be honest with you. Yeah, so basically Ariela hit her breaking point with this whole apartment situation. I can only imagine the stress that she's going through right now, but she blew up in that car. Ooh, she's like, she was done. She was done. That was it for this part of The Other Way, Ariela and Biniyam. If you guys enjoyed this video, make sure you give it a big thumbs up. Comment down below what others you want me to do, what other videos you want me to do, because this one is kind of done for now until October. I'm not sure what day they said they're coming out again. If you guys know, let me know. Until then, this is going to be it for now. Please subscribe to my channel if you haven't already, and have a wonderful day and take care. I'll see you guys next time. Bye.